Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. It's Monday, the 5th of September, and boy, oh boy, have I got a story for you. You're either going to laugh or you're going to cry. Harry and Meghan are in Manchester today. She's giving a speech at the One Young World Summit in Manchester. But get this, they will be protected by a private security firm who are forming a ring of steel around the Manchester venue. Yes, that's right. They're shutting down streets. The area around Bridgewater Hall, which is hosting the summit, will be cleared for 90 minutes ahead of the couple's arrival. That's right. Everybody needs to get out of their way. Now, normally, you don't really have the power to do that unless they have a filming permit. Bridgewater Hall is a concert venue at the very heart of Manchester. And yes, they're going to be shutting down a ring of steel around the concert venue. Who does that? It's weird. Now, first I thought, how can a private security firm be permitted to be able to clear the streets of a very busy city centre, i.e. Manchester, when the public pay taxes? And then I thought, well, there are permits to do this. Normally, police presence, but they can't have police presence. It's a private security firm. Which led me to think, have they got a film permit for it? Are they being filmed? Or are they suggested to get the permit that they've been filmed? So technically, their production company could have applied to Manchester Council and said, we're going to be filming, we need the streets cleared. Is that an abuse of power? I don't know. Obviously, I can't confirm whether or not that's happened, but I suspect it has. Private security firms have no more powers than anybody else. It's the police that have the powers. The private security firms do not. They can't just shunt you off the street. But it's one way of avoiding boos, isn't it? It's the only reason what I can think of. They don't want to hear the boos. Now, there are no road closures that are scheduled around Bridgewater Hall, which is on a main road. So will they be shutting down that road as well? Part of it is pedestrianised though. You can see a little bit here. There is a road that goes past it, but are they going to shut down that road that goes past the area? Bear in mind that this is a £3,000 a head summit. Yep. You've got to pay £3,000 to attend per person. They're doing this to avoid boos or complaints or whatever. They want to be shielded from the negativity. Slightly understandable because they're getting a lot of it at the moment. But I don't think that's relative to how life is. You have to be responsible for your own actions. And if your actions are causing offence, then surely you've got to take some form of consequences for your own actions. Now, security can't really clear anybody from public areas at all. You can't really do that unless you have a permit, which suggests that they have a permit. The hall itself is privately owned, so providing they have authority from the venue, they can do what they like. Isn't this kind of diva-ish behaviour? And bear in mind that tomorrow, when they go to Dusseldorf for the Invictus Games, Harry is going to be doing an interview or an open mic. He's not allowed, he said he's not answering questions. So yet again, they are shutting out the negativeness. As is their right, but ultimately, as I've just said, you have to be held accountable for your actions, and that has consequences. If you sit there being very negative towards the royal family, you are going to get pushback, and you are going to get protests, and you are going to get questions. Just the fact that you don't answer them just makes you look even worse, to be perfectly honest. And just breaking, there is pictures of them leaving Windsor, and here are the pictures. They seem pretty happy and content. They're obviously on their way to Manchester. Now, a lot of people are saying that because it's a public place, i.e. the road, they won't be able to shut it down. Well, like I've said, they will if they've got a film permit. Who knows if they've got a film permit? I suggest that they have got a film permit, and I suggest that they will be filming. It's just a natural progression because we know that they've been filmed in New York. We know that they're working with Netflix. We know that Netflix will probably be turning the screws to get content about them and royal life. So surely that's a natural progression to think they will be filmed and followed by a camera crew. So it's not beyond the realms of probability that they've shut the road and got a permit because of the camera crew. I do find it kind of laughable that they absolutely slander and slate this country, because they have, and then demand distance when they arrive in said country. I find that quite offensive, to be perfectly honest. Now, Bridgewater is a fairly busy part of town. It's central Manchester. So effectively closing down the streets is going to affect a fair amount of people. It depends on the radius of the actual shutdown of the streets. If it's just the street that's going towards the concert hall, it may not be quite as extensive as we feel. It depends on their diva demands, doesn't it? And is there a genuine security risk? That's what I'd like you to answer. Do you think there is a genuine security risk? I don't believe there is. The only risk there is to Harry and Meghan are boos. Quite simply, they will be booed because they're not very liked in this country, are they? And for very good reason. It'll be interesting to see what she actually says in her keynote speaker speech. Should we play a little bingo, like Meghan Markle phrases? Is she going to mention the soap advert? Is she going to mention her heritage? Is she going to mention how she grew up? Is she going to mention my husband? Is she going to mention how she is an advocate for young people? You know, this summit is for young people, but with a price tag of £3,000. Not many young people can afford £3,000, can they? But why the need for such extreme security? I just don't get it. I really, really don't. I mean, Catherine has been known to pop out and do normal shopping every day. She's been out taking her kids to toy shops and things like that. In fact, my cousin has actually met her. She was in Norfolk. She worked in a little cafe. Kate walked in, had a cup of tea. My cousin, being my cousin, sat down on a little chinwag with her. I thought it was bloody marvellous. And the fact that she said that she was so down to earth. And you know what? There was only one Royal Police Protection Officer and not loads and loads of security to shut down the streets. One thing I am glad that this is privately paid. It won't be paid by them. It will be paid for by Netflix because they'll be filming. So it won't come out of their pocket. It will come out of Netflix check. Clever, aren't they? It's a tax-deductible expense. So my question to you is that if this ring of steel is around this concert hall and that no public are allowed to get anywhere near, how big are the boos going to be? Are they going to get boos? Do you think anybody will be there to actually utter their contempt at the couple? And is this a way of saying, well, loads of people wanted to come and see it, but you know what? Security reasons, you couldn't get near. We wanted them to be near us, but we just couldn't risk it. Now remember, Harry, when they left Megxit, on their big kind of goodbye website, that it was sussexroyal.co.uk, wasn't it, where they released this huge statement about what they're going to do and how they see their lives without actually confirming it with the firm itself, and most of it got shot down. Harry inferred that both he and Meghan were internationally protected persons. Now these are head of states, diplomats, head of government states, but interestingly enough, it also covers members of families of representative officials or agents described as a head of state or a diplomat. That's where it gets tricky. Technically, as the Queen's grandson, Harry could officially be compared to an internationally protected person. And that's the status he wants. And that's what he's gone at loggerheads with our government and our Home Office for. And that's why he's taking them to court. But ultimately, what they've done is it's a form of control. They've shut down the area for 90 minutes. Is this about control or is this about avoiding anything negative? But I really do believe that they, in order to have shut this down, they would have applied for a permit for filming. There is no other way around it. You can't just shut streets down without a permit and without police involvement. These streets are funded by the taxpayer. As a taxpayer, what do you feel about this, that the whole street is being shut down for Harry and Meghan's visit? Also, this could be used as an example against Harry for his court case, saying, look, you know, I feel so insecure in the UK that I needed to shut down the streets. And if the police aren't involved, who are actually going to be shutting down the streets? Is it going to be their security team? Is this all just to protect them while they're filming their Netflix content from the booing crowds so it doesn't get spoiled? Think of all the money that this is costing. There's nothing on the council webpage that says the road is being closed, so it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens. Maybe they've got a street view something. Maybe they've got a live view from there. But I don't know. It would be interesting to see, wouldn't it? So I would love to know your thoughts on all of this. Do you think they're doing this purely to make themselves look like internationally protected people to boost his court case with the Home Office? Do you think there's a genuine risk to them? Or do you think this is purely to avoid boos? Because let's face it, they've really taken a knocking in the last year or so, and it's just getting worse. Every time one of them makes a dig at the royal family, their popularity just takes a nosedive in this country. I mean, it's pretty dire before all of this. So after the recent magazine article of The Cut and her podcasts, their popularity is absolutely tanking even more than normal. So I would love to know your thoughts on this. Do you think they've got a film permit? Do you think that's the way they've gotten around the situation of shutting down the roads? It's highly possible. As always, I would love to know your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell, and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.